Hello. It's West Ham Minds channel. It's Jazz. Another exciting news coming up for you guys, as you probably heard. So we've got lots to get through in this show. Lots to get through. It's kind of this window is getting a bit crazy every day, and it's surprising me. I mean, I've followed football for a number of years, like yourselves, and the window as well. And what's happening in this particular window looks to be, with about a week to go, it's going to get crazy. There's going to be a lot of money left to be circulated, yet a lot of twists and turns. It reminds me of the one where was it Torres when he went to Chelsea, and then Andy Carroll, Henderson went to Liverpool and all that kind of thing, wasn't it? Back in that was an amazing sort of couple of days, and I think this window is going to be a bit like that. There's so much money in the Premier League at the moment, as you can see, some of the bids that are going around. All other leagues are not that rich. So I think any player reasonably is obtainable if you've got the funds. Some of them who perhaps are not that keen to move to the club, they're going because they want to be in the Premier League. Yeah, so there's a pull of the Premier League, there's a pull of the financial package on offer, and every team in the Premier League has got a lot of money. And when you look at the league, the way it's shaping up at the moment, the teams at the bottom, we got Liverpool, we got Man U, we got ourselves. Some teams at the top of the table, we got Fulham, Newcastle, one or two others you wouldn't expect up there. This is telling me that this season could be one of the most closest and exciting at the bottom and the top. So you could have 3-4 teams going for the title. I think you've got City already up there. Liverpool are probably going to come back at some time sooner or later. Arsenal and Spurs are looking very, very strong. Always going to have Chelsea in around there. And Newcastle, we don't know what they're going to do with a week to go. They could do the most crazy transfer left yet, because they've spent money quite diligently at the moment, but we know they've got the capacity to go absolutely nuts if they wanted to. So even some of the news we're going to go through today, it's surprising me. I mean, one of the players we're going to go through was mentioned last night by Richard, I think. And I was like, Richard, who's that? And I looked at the value. I'm like, yeah. But we'll go for the news. Let's go for the chat first before we go crazy and trying to cover all these news. Ryan's in there. Ryan, how you doing? Ryan straight away giving a hint to everyone about, who we're going to talk about, Paqueta. So let's have a look at that in a minute. So let's have a look. Alex is in there. Alex, Arsenal, Newcastle looking. Alex, you can't say which way it's going to go yet. There's no press, no kind of. You couldn't have read that anywhere, mate. We don't know that. We go into it. All we know, that the concrete thing. Even David Moyes has confirmed we have made a bid, mate. Right? And when you make a bid, what I'm really surprised about is, do we really have that much money left in the pot? Right? If you look at the headlines of my show, we have spent a lot of money, which we'll go into a bit more. It's got to be around 120 million mark, is it? With Emerson coming in and stuff like that. Have we, 2-3 players have been linked with continuously through the window. We're going to look at it in a minute. It's about 50 million, the whole package. So you're telling me we've got 170, 180 million. That's just telling me maybe the owners of at last putting some of their money in there. They're fairly certain Rice is off next season, so they're making plans already, spending next season money now. It happens in businesses and cash forecasts and stuff like that. You go to the bank for money, they want to lend you money on some kind of collateral, fixed assets, security. West Ham can go to the bank and say, listen, can we borrow an extra 50, 60 million? You could look at our balance sheet. We got Declan Rice in there and that kind of thing, and they'll be okay about it. So I'm just a bit miffed, mate, with what's going on. I'm very excited at the same time, as we're going to go through all the different things we're going to go through, mate. Mate, I know. Listen, I'm just going to get excited anyway. I don't care if it doesn't happen. And, West Ham, we'll go into a bit more. If they don't get this player for David Moyes after the couple of things he's wanted, it's not looking good for him. It's a bit embarrassing. They've got to get one over the line, They've got to get one or two over the line. That's what I heard, mate. They're on the financial fair play. The people who look after that kind of thing, they've got them in their eyesight, mate. So they've got to be very careful. Otherwise, they're coming for them in the next season, mate. So Arsenal got to be very, very careful. Some of the figures, mate, it was like over 230, 240 million of Arsenal spent the last 2-3 windows, mate. Tommy, how you doing, mate? Yeah, mate. Shit, last night was a bit crazy, I thought. It's carried on again, mate. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, the window's getting close, mate, and we'll go into it, Peter. There's so much to discuss. We're going to look at 3 players. We're going to look at where the hell is this 50 million coming from. We're going to look at the midfield overhaul. We know the whole team needs an overhaul, and luckily, for the first time, the management, the owners are looking at it like us, thinking, "Shit, we got to do something, right?" And that's why they're looking at 3 players. We're going to focus on this show. They're all midfielders. We're going to look at where they play, how much they're going to cost. How they could fit into the new team, all that kind of thing, and your lovely comments as well, mate, of course. We're going for both, mate. Dabsy, we're going for both. I think Everton, obviously, with that Gordon thing, is calming down a bit, because I kept thinking 60 million for this guy who just looks normal. So Chelsea fans are not happy about that. And that's what I was thinking. If that deal gets done, then Lampard's definitely going to get one of Broja or Gallagher. And I was thinking Gallagher might, midfielders love Lampard and Chara, don't they? He might end up there. But if he starts, Gallagher begins to see what West Ham are trying to do in the market, he might come through on a loan, mate. Paquetá, Paquetá on a permanent is unbelievable, mate. I didn't follow this player that much till yesterday when Richard came out with it on the show. And this guy is just too good to be true, mate. He's got a bit of Modric in him. He's got one of those Barcelona players used to do, but everything, stick his foot in, can set things up, and his stats back it all up, mate. So I don't know why no one's got him before, mate. Great age, lots of reasonable number of Brazilian caps. You saw the picture I put up on my thumbnail. He's surrounded by huge players in the Premier League, and Neymar and Jesus and Firmino and stuff like that. We'll go into it, mate. Gallagher is because he's had enough of Souček, mate. He's had enough of Souček. He's even, without even mentioning the name, you know which kind of players he's mentioning in every press conference. They go, these players are far shadow of themselves 1 or 2 years ago. If they're not careful, they're just going to be putting out the team, mate. It is getting ruthless now. So suddenly David Moyes has gone from conservative, not really doing anything. And this window, he's far more sort of explains in depth in press conferences how angry he is about everything, that's pissed off with the players, how we keep bidding for players. He said it's so funny. He's laughing about saying, if I told you the number of players we've gone for, you're going to start laughing. So he is giving clues to the media to say he's pissed off with Sullivan and them lot, right? He's given them a list. They've gone out and not got... Listen, we've got a lot of players for the door. 1 or 2 of them perhaps weren't in that list at the beginning, you know what I mean? Well, Gallagher's good. Gallagher's all right, mate. Bundle of energy, scores goals, puts his foot in, and he proved it in the Premier League, right? So you can't have a go at him, mate. He's one of Palace's top players. So Gallagher, for me, mate, you can't really complain if he comes. Well, listen, the agent signed London, Hammerhead, right? The agent signed London to do a deal, and they kind of dropped it. Like I said, abroad, the teams that haven't got hardly any money, and time is running out, and perhaps they've got no money themselves to improve the team. So they have to, it's a bit of both, isn't it, mate? You have to drop it down a bit, be reasonable, get a deal done, and then you can go and kind of buy it. But obviously West Ham's worry is they never have any money up front. I heard they paid 12 out of 15 million up front for Emerson. So I don't know how much money they're going to put up front for this one. It looks at this stage Arsenal are not in the picture. Newcastle could be. You never know. Spurs might come from nowhere, mate. You know, they're showing a lot of money and might at the moment. We'll see what happens. I'm very surprised, mate, Mr. Batch. I hope you're all right. I'm very, very surprised. I like it. It's not normal. You meant to keep things quiet. But he's really cutting a frustrated figure, mate. He's really frustrated. And he's just like, yeah, whatever you ask me, I'm just going to tell you. And this is one of those things when Mourinho used to have a fight with the owners and Conte. They just used to say it. Like Conte, remember that Burnley? I'm just going to resign, mate. He tells the president, I'm just going to resign. I don't think I'm right for the job. And that usually works if threatens like, so the owners like Sullivan, it's kind of getting quite vocal, mate, you know? And I like it. Let's stir a bit of crap. You've got a week to go. Moyes has got to try every trick to get 1 or 2 players in because we're not in good shape at the moment, mate. Hey? Don't get bids accepted that quick, mate. No. We made a bid as well, so they're going to wait for the both parties to... Who's David Barber anyway? Let me have a check. The only thing I've read is just about us. Let me have a look. Yeah, so they're going around offering the player, right? So they've offered him to Newcastle, offered him to kind of Spurs. So Newcastle kind of in there. So yeah, they're in there at the moment, but we certainly don't know at this stage whose bid will be accepted or what happens in the end. So all we can say with certainty is we've made the first bid, and certainly agents of Newcastle, what's his name, Paquetá, they're in London. So yeah, but we certainly, I don't think this quickly. Actually, all I'm hearing about Newcastle is that Newcastle have done a major deal to agree club record £16 million free for Alexander Isak, mate. That's what I'm hearing. So they're not in for both. Yeah, although Bruno Gomes wants to team up. So I don't know. I think we're favourites at the moment. Newcastle obviously got their eyes on a few other players. So that could happen, mate. I'm not sure. So that's what I'm hearing at the moment. That we've made a bid. Agents are in London. Arsenal, not sure. And Newcastle certainly busy securing 60 million signing somewhere else, mate. Yeah. Something's gonna come to a very bad end at West Ham, right? If we haven't got the money right, and we're going in for 2-3 players, David Moyes is gonna snap, and we're gonna have an internal war at the club, and you can see it on the pitch already. Because the players are not happy the last 2 windows, right? And they've just thrown, they've thrown a towel. They're not bothered anymore, right? So I'll be if Sullivan wants to lose the club and end up in a relegation, you can easily stay in the top bottom 3, mate. I'm telling you straight. Look at our next 4 fixtures. So I don't think they're that stupid. They've got to make a reasonably good bid, otherwise you're going to piss off everyone in Europe. And if he doesn't get what he wants, then they can throw in the towel now, mate. It's a relegation battle all season long. So I'll be surprised if they're doing that kind of thing. How you doing, Pitsy? You all right, mate? You all right? Yeah, I'm excited, mate. Listen, I'm excited. Every day we're getting linked. And to be fair, a lot of players are coming through every week. Some of them, perhaps, we didn't know quite a lot about them, but the squad numbers are filling up as they needed to. But what I'm hearing from David Moyes' comments, obviously in the press conference last week, which are fair. I know that some of the mistakes was some of our players, the new signings, the penalty was given away by Kehrer and stuff like that. And to be fair, we do have a go at David Moyes for rushing, sort of taking their time. But he's right on Kehrer. He said he ain't ready. I had no choice, and you could see it. He was all over the place again in the Europa game. He was all over the place in that game. So you've got to see it from David's point of view sometimes. That he says the team's so rubbish and full of injuries that I kind of had to rush people in. And you can see the results of rushing people in. But then looks like Scamacca and Cornet are ready to start, and he doesn't start them. So it is a bit all over the place, isn't it, mate? It is a bit all over the place. Cool, mate. Yeah, probably. Depends on your revenue as well. I'm sure we don't hardly pull any revenue anyway. Got hardly any corporate sponsors, have we? Andrew, how you doing? It's raining men, mate. Raining footballers. Yeah, but it just like, the one that you really, really want. It just never happens. And then if all this happens, then Lingard can forget you, mate. We do, mate. Cool. I've got lots of selections, mate. Lots of options to watch that game, Mickey. Loads of options. Probably do watch along and see how it goes. Something's got to break in it, right? And I just think David Moyes and the owners and the players, there's a huge civil war at the moment, on the brink of it at the moment. You can see it. The players are fed up with not enough players coming in at the right time. The manager's fed up with his number ones not coming in. It's there all to see, mate. And if they made a bid for him and they come back and lose him due to an extra $5,000 a week he wanted, shit's going to hit the fan, mate. I'm telling you right now. The fans are already booing at Brighton, so I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, we're going to look at that in a minute, mate. We're going to look at that. So let me share my screen and we'll carry on going through the chat, everyone. Let's have a look. So 2:54, which is not that long ago, in 2 hours. Athletic, which is, again, very respectable sources, are saying that talks between West Ham and Lyon are advancing over the fee. A bid of around 34 million has gone in. Talks are ongoing regarding the personal terms. They reckon he's 25, but I reckon he is 24, 25. Same. He's got the same birthday as my wife, August the 27th. So he's going to be 25 on Saturday. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And he'll be their 8th signing. And then also it says David Moyes about 3:30 confirmed the bid. Speaking to the media, he said, I'll not talk about him, but he kind of did. He said, I can tell you that we bid for him. He's 23, 24, 30 Brazil caps. Can play as a number 10, can play as a number 8, plays as a false 9 for Brazil quite often. Pedigree's good. I've never seen a manager say that much in a press conference. This is nuts, isn't it? Chelsea have pulled out the Fofana deal. Good for them. Sometimes teams just take the mick. Apart from that, Vanaken will go to in a minute, mate. Yeah, Vanaken will let you know what's going on with that. Darmish again is, agent in talks, and Darmish again has been very reliable and very good. But what he does say is that they're here not specifically to do deal with West Ham only. They're here to do deal with the Premier League, with any interested party, and West Ham have thrown their hat firmly into the ring regarding that. Let's have a look at the stats for the boy. 35 games, 9 goals, 6 assists last season. So again, every season, about 10 goals, about 5-6 assists. Not quite playing all of the games. So what I want to do with him quickly, I just want to look at his injury, because there is usually a bit where they tell you about the injuries sometimes. Injury history. Let's have a look at the injury history. Thigh problem, out for 6 days, ankle 2 weeks. So it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad for him. And then what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to go and show you guys where he's been kind of playing. So let's go through the comments before we look at where he's playing. But for me, looks a very good player. 20, 30 caps of Brazil, can play in a number of positions, which will be interesting when we do our thing. So that'd be quite good. But let me know. I mean, if we're in for him, we're in for Gallagher, we're in for Vanaken. The bid's gone up from 8, 9 to 10 to 11 to a bit more again. He's putting his dummy on the floor. He wants to come. So putting those, it looks like a huge midfield overhaul. And I think obviously David Moyes is not happy with people playing in that midfield section. And you could think of Fornals, you could think of sort of Lanzini, you could think of Benrahma, you can think of Sacco as well. Not Sacco, sorry, Souček. So a lot of problems, and that's why he's going for so many players, I think. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, 2-2, wasn't it, mate? That was 2-2. Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Christian? Hope you're doing all right, mate. Yeah, we'll have a look into that, mate. We'll have a look into that. I'm going to go for the comments, then we'll have a look at where these players have played, and then we'll look at how they can fit into the system, mate. Let's see what happens, Tommy. Ross Barclay. Ryan's upset. Is it? Where was that one on, mate? I might look for that. Shall I try and have a look at that? We've got to get deals done quick as well, haven't we? Let's see what's happening on Twitter. 10 minutes ago. Again, just about the bid. I've agreed to pay. Oh! So I don't know who these people are, but someone has said 12 minutes ago, West Ham have agreed to pay 34 million plus 8 million add-ons, which is 42 million. The deal could be completed by Friday. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Maybe you're right, mate, football members. Maybe you're right. Because we got to be quick. We've got to be quick. You can't just putting in bids that are a little bit way off and then you're letting other teams get in there, mate. Yeah, we'll get to 40 with add-ons, looks like, mate. But where's this money coming from? I know Frankie's always like, we've underspent, and perhaps it's a bit of the owners giving a little bit back to the club. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I read, mate. Yeah. That's what I read, mate. Ryan, is that happening? It's happening. Oh, mate. Get in there, mate. I know, Peter. It's going to be nuts, mate. I'm telling you now. I think this window is going to be one of the most exciting for a long time with the money, involved at the moment. Oh, David Barbie. Well, I like to hear other teams. Let's see what happens, mate. Let's see what happens. He looks like a good player. Yeah, Peter, you're right, mate. I reckon 1 out of the 7 if nothing changes on the pitch, mate. No, you can't compare to sort of Arsenal start because they brought in a number of players that took time to bed in. You can't compare to 1 or 2 other teams. You can't. It's not good. Hello, Chile. Yeah, I mean, if you get picked for Brazil 20, 30 times, mate, I'm up for it, mate. Yeah. Should we have a look at where they're playing? I don't know, mate. It broke this morning, mate. It broke this morning. That was it. Mate, so what we're going to do, so have a look at this. I'm going to go into the corner like I normally do. Andrew, let me just hide your comment a minute, mate. So these are one of the games recently in the league. In this 4-3-3, Paquetá is playing on the right side in a 4-3-3, right? So that's that. If we look at one more game, it's there again. So it looks like they play 4-3-3, and he plays there. But David Moyes said that he can play in the middle and he can play in there as well. So that's him. Conor Gallagher plays in a 4-2-3-1 with Palace, which we play. He plays in that Ben Rama role in the middle. That's Conor Gallagher in the middle there, everyone. Vanaken plays again in the midfield across most positions apart from central. So he can play in the left side, right side, that kind of thing, really. So they're all obviously attacking-minded players, and they can play. And in terms of the formation, let me just move myself to the other side now. There we go. So, again, the back four's the only issue I've got is I don't know how many times Kera's played right back. I think he has, but I don't know if David Moyes wants him there, or does he want him as a backup? So maybe we might sign a right back as well because Kafal's injured. He can't play the next game. I think it's concussion, but he's not started that well. So Kera, Zuma, Agard, Emerson, the back four, Fabianski or Areola at the back. I'm saying Rice and Gallagher, the holding two in the middle. Obviously, Gallagher hopefully have much more impact than Souček does. Then I'm thinking Cornet, Paquetá, Bowen, and Scamacca, everyone. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me know in the chat what you think. Let me just do something else. Hang on a minute. I don't know why I've written Paquetá. It's bloody Paquetá, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I'm nuts, isn't I? So have a look at that and let me know if you agree that's how we're going to set up. Go for the chat. Let me just push that up for everyone so you can see it. There we go. Yeah, a lot of these deals go close, don't they? But this one has picked up momentum purely because agents in London and they need the money AC and they want to recycle it, mate. That's kind of what's going on. Yeah, Jonathan, I know what you mean. Happy birthday, mate. You're a Virgo, aren't you? Good lad. Yeah, I know there's a lot of doom and gloom in the chat, and understandably so. Yeah, I understand that, but I just think if this is what the club is just trying to do, something might be a bit late, but because the season's already started, but they're trying to make things happen, and things can change very quickly. Like I said, it's not looking good at the moment with the players on the pitch, but you get these 3-4 through the door. It's it can change. You remember Nearly went down once with Harry, and he bought Kits and Hearts and Lomas, and then once Bilic came with Reaper, it changed everything. Listen, we might do, mate. I don't know. Let's see what happens, Liam. Yeah, we do need a lot of people, don't we? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll just say you get into that bad kind of circle, don't you? Bad kind of run. You can't turn it back. You remember Spurs had to replace Nunez. They were spiraling towards non-European place. Ranieri, I told you yesterday, he got sacked the following season after winning the league. Yeah. Yeah, they bought a lot of players, didn't they, mate? A lot of players, mate. Zuma's knee will flare up at some stage, mate. It will flare up for me. All kicking off in the chat. I like that. Bit of passion in there. Yeah, you never know. Listen, we might not get most of them, but looks like one or two are going to go over the line. I don't know who, but you've made a bid. It's been accepted. You've agreed how you're going to pay it back. And they know the urgency of getting people in for the next fixture. Yeah, it looks like Jonathan. Looks like, mate. Kera, he does play right back. He can play left back, but predominantly at his last club, he was right back and right side of centre back, which isn't ideal pairing with Zuma. They're both right footed, don't we? That's why we want Agard and Oggy back as the left side. Don't know, mate. Don't know. A lot of Brazilians in that league now, so we'll see how that happens. Don't know, mate. Someone's going to pick him up. Diaz will be sold, mate. He'll say it's good money, good city to live in, that kind of thing, mate. Viborg. I think we're reasonably comfortable, and because we've had a bad start and we don't have anyone in the squad, it's going to be the bare minimum. A lot of youngsters there, mate. A lot of youngsters going to be in there. I can't see anyone like Bowen and Rice, and I wouldn't pay Cornet Skamaka either, mate. They need to be protected. It's a very different team, mate. It's going to be maybe 2-3 people you've heard of. The rest, you've got to put the youngsters in there. Ashby, Langelo, one or two others, mate. It's going to be very weak team. And I think they might have one or two regulars on the bench just to make sure in case something goes tits up. But I don't know. I'll play Antonio in there and make sure he doesn't start the next game. I'll play Antonio in there. Just put people in there you're not going to start next game, innit, mate? Yeah. Well, don't be like that, Alex. Don't be like that. Let me go through here. Downs didn't make sense, did it now, mate? If we're going to wait for Gallagher, I don't know. Downs might go on loan. You don't know what's going to happen yet. Downs ain't going to get a look in, mate. I'm telling you, he ain't going to get a look in. That's the thing, really. So that's how I think we're going to line up with that team. You can have a look. Let me know what you think. I'll go to the top. I'll just hide that. Let's have a look at that. Let me go down there. So that's kind of what we've been linked with, mate. We need a right back, I reckon. We need a right back. We need someone like Gallagher in there. Number 10 and a striker. You're looking at another 4 signings, I think. Right back, CDM, number 10 and a striker. 4 of them. So 3 of them are being linked today. Massive midfield overhaul. Where does that leave Vanaken? Leaves him on the bench and means Souček's on the way out. So you got Vanaken and Gallagher in there. But Gallagher's probably, and Rice and Downs are the only CDMs then. I don't think Vanaken's a CDM really. Nor is Paquetá. But you got a few options in there that you can mess about with, I suppose. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. 4 more signings, and that's how the team will. But that's just not a strict lineup. You can play around with that. Play 4-3-3. I'm sure you can do wing backs out of it if you wanted. Wing backs going to be harder unless you, because it's harder to buy wing backs. And I know Klosic would have done the role. Cornet maybe can, but I think it's likely going to be 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. I think with the players that we're looking at. I think, and looks like perhaps Benrahma or Souček both will be on the way out. I don't know. But let me know in the chat what you think, and then we're going to close up. Hello, matey. How you doing? You all right? You all right, mate? Definitely, mate. Definitely. So it's a bit of a quick one today, everyone. Busy at work, doing a few things. Need to jump on a call. So basically, for me, very surprised that we got 50 million in the pot. If you're looking at 35 for Paquetá, you're looking at was it 11 for Vanaken? You're looking at 5 million loan fee for Gallagher. Then we still need a right back and a striker. So we're looking at 4 or 5. We need, don't we? We need a right back. We need a CDM. We need number 10. We need a striker. About 4 or 5 we need. Looks like 1 or 2 will be out the door, and it's going to be a huge last 7 days. There's 7 days left. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour show on the 31st, so join me all day. It's going to be a madman. Get your coffee ready with Jazz. We'll have a bundle of laughs, and it's exciting. So it looks like we're going for things. You can't knock that. You can't knock making a bid, and we are going to look ever so silly if someone else, again, like Lingard or 1 or 2 other gazumptions, mate. It's not going to be good for the players. It's not going to be good for the fans. It's not going to be good for the manager. That's what I can say. And Sullivan, he's got to pull something out the bag. And if he pulls Paquetá out the bag, he's already done. I mean, he put Skamaka in and Cornet, good signings. This will be really nice. And we need it, don't we, everyone? So I'm just going to go through those comments quickly, and then we'll have a look. Got love centre halves, Peter, haven't we? You've got 4 or 5, mate. Yeah, got loads. We never know, mate. There's something going on there, mate. We can have 1 on loan from each club. Is it 2 allowed? We got plenty of spaces in the squad, Tommy. That's the thing. We've got plenty of spaces in the squad. We can bring them in there, mate. Yeah, we'll see how that happens, mate. wise, mate. All right, I'm going to shoot off now. Quick one. But I'll be back if there's any more news on medicals being booked, bids being accepted, terms being agreed, that kind of thing. And hopefully Sky or Darmish or Fabrizio Romano will kind of say something, then I'll jump back on, mate. But at the moment, I'm quite reasonably happy what's going on. We're looking for 2, 3, 4 players. We're making bids, right? So the Vanaken bid is not a lie. This bid is not a lie. We are interested in Broja. We are interested in Gallagher. I think we need a right back. I do not want to rely on Kufal, Johnson, or Kera. I'm a bit iffy with all of them in that position. But you never know. Kera might be happy in that position at right back. He might not be precise enough defensively to play centre-back. Premiership is unforgiving. Right back, if you lose a little bit, a few tackles, you always get cover from the centre-back. So that might work. He's got plenty of pace like Emerson. So it's kind of, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. A few more comments again to go through. All right, I'm going to go on and shoot off, but thanks to everyone for joining in, and hopefully we'll catch up soon with some even more good news, yeah? Come on, you irons. Take care.